my name is Britt and this is B Squared Budgets. Today I'm going to be going over our mid-year check-in for the year 2020. This is just a compilation of our original budget for the year and then reflecting all the changes that have happened so far and my forecast for how we should be finishing out the year as of the numbers we have right now. So follow along with me and I will show you what our budget is looking like.
So in this spreadsheet, I have compiled our prediction from our budget that we created before the beginning of this year, as well as an updated list of numbers from how I have adjusted things in our budget so far this year based on the changes and things that have happened. This is just going to give me a really good look at each individual category and how that has changed and where I see it ending up at the end of the year 2020. For our primary income, I had predicted that we would be receiving $70,000. That has now been upped to $73,000 due to a raise and some bonuses my husband has received for working through this pandemic for a total of $3,000 more than anticipated. With that comes the increased taxes that we pay on the higher wage as well as higher contributions to our retirement account because that is a percentage based contribution. We contribute 9% to our Roth account and 1% to our pre-tax 401k account. Scrolling down, we could see that our gross total income has increased its prediction by $14,000. Some of that is reflected down here in our other incomes as far as our tax refund we received and then the $3,400 stimulus that we also received this year. Our rent income from the basement apartment we rent out is staying the same as far as we know, and that's reflected here with no change. We have brought in almost $3,000 of other income that we hadn't accounted for. Some of that's been some babysitting money and just other things being sold and all kinds of random other income. Our total net income that we are bringing home is now forecasted at being $13,000 more than we had planned for at the beginning of 2020. Now for our spending categories, I had budgeted $11,400 for groceries throughout the year. I have now updated that and it looks like we should be able to come in at least $500 less than that original prediction. So that looks good. Our miscellaneous budget is higher, and that was due to some unforeseen costs, but I do hope that I will be able to keep it down throughout the rest of the year and hopefully bring that in under $900. But for now, I just leave it with our predicted numbers accounting for the changes that have happened in the beginning of the year. Our gas budget is quite a bit under so far because of this pandemic. We've just not been driving and going places. So that one definitely should come in less than anticipated. Our children's allowances are set, so those shouldn't be changing. Our cell phone, we did change cell phone carriers right at the beginning of the year, I believe, so that is reflected in paying less for that throughout the year. Our electricity and water, I always estimate a little bit high on our electricity and water just so I'm always prepared, but this reflects those places so far this year that has come in under budget. Our internet as well, we negotiated when our contract was up to a lower price, so we should be paying just under $1,000 for that this year. Our Pandora account is a set amount each month. The movie club has been canceled for the last few months due to the pandemic, so that is less than we had anticipated. Our personal money is here, and some of these numbers did get adjusted a little bit in some of the first months of the year. Some of this was directed to other categories, and that's why those numbers are a little bit lower. One unexpected expense that we had this year was the cost of refinancing our home mortgage, and that cost $1,800, and so that is here. Due to that, we will then have been putting a little bit less to our principal just due to the way the loan transferred over. But one other really exciting part is that we will be saving this much on interest. I had anticipated us paying $8,746 to interest with our original mortgage that we started the year with, but due to that refinance and a lower interest rate, we will be saving all of that money on interest. an escrow account that went through our mortgage on our previous mortgage, and that's why this number is so much lower. We are obviously still paying for insurance and taxes. It's just now reflected down in our sinking funds. So this number looks lower here, but it's just moved down to a different category. For our emergency fund, I have us being able to put almost $13,000 into our emergency fund. We are on track to fully fund it to the $15,000 that I wanted to have in there this year, and so that's really exciting that we should be able to accomplish that. I also have designated at least $332 to go to investments that I didn't have planned for at the beginning of the year. In our sinking funds, our car insurance, I reduced the amount for that sinking fund because our 6 month premium was less than expected. So that is reflected here. Some of our sinking funds have been adjusted just slightly, a little bit more to household, a reduction in the clothing sinking fund. Our pet one went up quite a bit. This is a process that I just did for this purpose, this mid-year check-in, being able to look at our sinking funds, which I will show you that sheet here. And it shows the money that we have saved or will be saving throughout the year, how much we have spent, and then what is remaining. So before compiling this spreadsheet, I looked through here, and any categories, and pets was one of them, that we had already spent quite a bit more than we had saved, and so I have allotted more money throughout the rest of the year to keep that account fully funded. Same thing for home improvement. This wasn't even a category we had at the beginning of 2020, but have since started this fund and wanted to contribute more. So I have adjusted our annual budget to reflect the money that I want to be putting into our home improvement fund. So these things are all reflected here. This extra money to our education fund was partially from reimbursements from the charter school my kids attend that helps support our homeschooling as far as paying for different curriculum and different items, and as well as we received some money from family to put into that category. All of our car maintenance, birthday, and holiday sinking funds look on track. I did not make any changes to those. I did add more to our gifting and donation, and this will actually probably be going up throughout the year as part of my new side job that I picked up was specifically to be able to increase our gifting and donation. A big one that we saved on, we have now taken out the haircut sinking fund because I am doing my husband and children's haircuts, so we are no longer saving for that. Here is the home improvement line that I mentioned when I was showing you the other sheet. So this was money that we had not allocated for home improvement, but now we are including that. Here are the property taxes and homeowners insurance that we will be saving for this year. I did already put aside the money we received back from our escrow when we received our new mortgage to start the sinking fund. Our taxes are about $4,100 a year. So this isn't all the taxes for the year. This is just what we need to save from the rest of our yearly budget to be able to pay that bill this fall. Put almost $14,000 more to savings, which is really exciting. Our monthly savings rate that I had anticipated at the beginning of the year was over 11%, and it is now forecasted at 23%. And I actually do anticipate that being higher. I just don't like to adjust those numbers until I know for sure that certain incomes are coming in. But I'm really pleased with that. If we could reach a 25% savings rate, I would be really excited. And I think that would be a good goal for this year. If you have any questions about any of these numbers and how I figured these calculations out and whatnot, please leave a comment down below and let me know if you have any questions about how we do our finances.
Thank you so much for joining me for our mid-year check-in. If you like seeing real numbers and family budgets, please consider subscribing. I share our monthly budget breakdowns every month as well as our net worth updates. Thank you so much.